Hello, hello, and welcome back, everybody, to the Adult Table, the premier shit talking podcast show, whatever the fuck you want to call it, live stream
Whatever this shit is.
of two friends just saying whatever they want about anything because here at the show, nothing is left off the table. I, of course, am your host, Trav, the slightly inebriated Trav. And with me, as always, is my fellow hosts, the abominable snowman, the vanilla gorilla, the immovable object who also fucked the irresistible force, the one and only Mr. Joey Fats. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm good. I'm working on the slightly inebriated part too. So this is it's gonna be a good night. Well, I've got the WBC on just like off camera here to my left, and keeping tabs on my Italianos playing the Venezuelans. So very curious to see how this one turns out because I'm curious to see if all the left and the liberals in the media will lose their shit if Italy beats Venezuela, and they'll be like, "You can't do that. That's a war crime." I don't know why they're Italian, but whatever. You get my point.
Well, because they're Italian.
Yeah. Well, no, the liberal left is not Italian. They're
right, no. Because,
I mean, hey, guy, why you make a do that over there?
and even though a good amount of their players are Italian American or Italian Canadian, like that they have heritage to Italy, they just happen to be playing for them, which is fine.
Yeah, there's no other Palatronis outside of Massachusetts in the United States of America. The only other Palatronis you'll find are in Italy. So it's a rarity. But my Italian heritage, the lasagna noodle runs deep.
Yes, it does. But yes, I'm working on that. I got myself a proper old fashioned here, along with a nice PBR.
Got myself a proper kettle one and soda.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Can't go wrong with that. And yes, Joey's wearing. Happy 316 day to you, Joey.
Hell yeah, dude.
I just tried to find my Austin 316 shirt and I couldn't find it fast enough, and I didn't want to spend too much time looking for it. So it's probably in a bag of other shirts that I just haven't worn in a while, and not in my.
I have two. I have this one,
my drawer,
and then I think I have one with the sleeves still on it that says Austin 316.
Yep.
But I did not find that one today. I found this one. So,
what?
Here we are. Exactly. And it's funny because my wife gets the joke, and she didn't always get the joke, but sorry, I'm eating a Cadbury egg.
It's pure sugar.
It really is. I mean, one of the best parts of spring is when the Cadbury eggs show up on the shelf, and you're like, "Oh, fuck yeah, that and fucking Peeps." No, my wife she didn't always get the joke. And one year she was like, I think we were going camping. And it was me, my cousin, and my brother. And we stopped at we were camping up in New Hampshire, Vermont. Well, Vermont. We stopped in New Hampshire and then went to their cabin in Vermont.
Sure.
And we stopped at the New Hampshire State Liquor Store.
And
it was one of those, it was one of those trips to the liquor store where you get a carriage. Mm-hmm. And when you get a carriage in the liquor store, and you see somebody like pushing a cart around the liquor store, you're like, "Oh, this motherfucker means business."
It's not uncommon there because it's tax free. So
I'll tell you what, we were the only ones that day in the New Hampshire State Liquor Store pushing carriages and multiple carriages because we were supplying a lot of liquor for basically a 3-day bender that was going to end in a lot of people feeling like absolute ass for about 2 weeks afterwards. But
worth
neither here nor there. We were going through the aisles, and I'd just be like, "Hey, go get more beer," and somebody would just go, "What?" Like, "Hey, we're gonna need more vodka." What? Like, it was always just met with the what.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?" Like, me and my cousin and my brother, we just kept doing it. We didn't explain it to her. And then, like 5, 6, maybe like 10 years later, I finally showed her the video of Stone Cold doing that, and she's like, she gets so annoyed. Because I will go like a decade and a half saying something, and she'll have no idea what it is, and then
zero
I'll be like,
context.
"Oh, hey, yeah," I'll be like, "Hey, remember that thing I always say? Like, yeah, watch this." And she's like, "Are you like?" It's to the point where she's like, "I swear to God, my husband has no original thoughts in his brain, only references." And I'm like, "It's close. It's close."
Yeah.
And So today I'm texting my wife and I was like, I gotta go to the liquor store and get more vodka. And she immediately responds, just all caps, what? And I was just like, that's my girl.
Hell yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, brother. And then I didn't go to the liquor store because I found more vodka at home. But she was like, did you get more tequila? And I was like, what? She's like, how about more beer? What? And it just became a whole thing. And then it was a whole like inside joke between her and I while she was at work today. It was,
Mhm.
and it was phenomenal. It was like the only way to celebrate March 16th.
And I'll tell you what's good about that is still persists to this day. The audience will start saying what during promos when
hell
somebody's a dick or they just don't like them or is being annoying, and you can tell the current the people that are interrupted by it fucking hate it because it's like this is
big
like
time.
like almost it's got to be close to 20 years old at this point. Just the what thing, and it's still persistent.
Yeah, that's got to be up there now.
Because it was late in his run.
Yeah, it was towards the end. It was definitely post Attitude Era.
Yes, it was like early 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, so I think like I'm gonna say when. Hold on, let me look it up. Like when did Stone Cold start the what chant? Oh wow, August 2001. Never mind.
Okay,
way earlier
so
than I
early
thought.
2000. Okay.
Yeah, you were way more on that one than I was.
Yeah, I
thought that came like later.
I thought it happened a little bit later. I was thinking more like 2003 or 4, but that makes sense. But yeah, it was after he was basically done being like full time. He was kind of part timing, more of like a GM role, but still, in ring active, just not as much because of his, the wear and tear on his legs, basically, and his back.
Stone Cold is still like one of, if not, I think, is he on the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? He's got to be, right?
For me personally, he is.
I think he's definitely on mine, and it's not so for me, it's like Undertaker, Stone Cold.
Okay.
And then I would probably say Hulk Hogan because he was like, I mean, everybody knows who the Hulkster
Whether
is.
you liked him or not, he made professional wrestling
Yeah.
like big time.
He made it what it was. Like, so you and I grew up, like, we were a little bit later, like a little bit after the Hulk era. Like we were very young during that era.
He was still very much there.
But not like him like body slamming Andre the Giant. In, like,
right, yes, we were
1986.
still that was WrestleMania 2?
3, 2
or 3. So I'm a year older than just barely a year older than just under a year older of what WrestleMania proper.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was too young to have seen that live.
I mean, I saw it
But
all,
Hulk
like,
was
after
still
the
big.
fact. But the Hulk was like, so you had like Hulk Hogan to me was like the start of wrestling. Like there are two there's like two genre it's like Jesus Christ in the Bible. It's like there's before Hulk and after Hulk.
Yeah.
Like and then like the during Hulk was a lot longer I think than Jesus was around, but I don't know. I'm not a big Bible guy. But if I'm going to compare the Hulk to somebody, yes, it's going to be Jesus Christ because obviously that makes all the sense in the world.
Yes.
Wow, we are starting this show off with just
well, I'd have to say
right foot.
my other Macho Man has to be on there. He was my favorite
fuck yeah, dude.
out
I
of
was
the
going
two.
to say that's my fourth favorite by
He's
far.
my favorite of all time. Right behind him, Stone Cold.
My number one is Undertaker.
That's fine.
Number
That's
two
fair.
would probably be Stone Cold. 3 would be Macho Man. 4 would be the Hulkster.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if the Hulk was like one of my favorites. Actually, I probably like other people more, but if I'm going to make a Mount Rushmore, because I think I like Shawn Michaels more.
Sure.
The Rock is up there, even though I wasn't like a big Rock guy.
Yeah.
Like he was pretty sweet. But like, I don't know, dude. Like, I was never like a huge wrestling fan, but it's always been like a permanent part of my life because you could never get away from it.
Yeah,
Like,
especially as a young boy during that era. Like, if you weren't talking about it with your friends after like a big thing happened,
like,
yeah, you were out of the loop.
Did you? So you remember? Obviously, you remember Brandon that lived up the street from me.
Yep.
His dad and him were super into wrestling. and we would watch all the stuff. And like I remember my parents had a black box back in the day.
Yes.
And I remember even my dad, who didn't like wrestling at all, was not a wrestling guy, was never his thing. He had me, Ryan, Brandon, everybody come over to the house, and because we had the black box, we had the pay-per-view thing as we were snatching it. And we watched SummerSlam 94 when it was like Ted DiBiase's Undertaker versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
After the casket match, and he had like Razor Ramon fighting somebody. I'm pretty sure like Shawn Michaels and Diesel had a tag team match that night. I don't know. And it was fucking awesome. And I just remember everybody just like everyone was going fucking bananas. Even though we all knew this was like, we knew it wasn't like real, but we didn't care.
It's entertainment. It
was.
It's male soap opera. And women get involved too.
It was incredible. It was electric. I mean, Ted DiBiase's Undertaker versus The Undertaker, which, the purple and gray.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking incredible. Like, it was so awesome. And that was 94, so I was, what, 3rd, 4th grade at that point? Like, I was not that old. And it was unbelievable. And it was such a fun time. And now, here I am as a 40-something-year-old, and I'm still wearing, like, wrestling T-shirts.
Yeah, same.
And paying homage, because it is embedded itself in American culture so heavily that you just can't get away from it, dude. And, like, I love watching, like, we had a tradition up until like a couple of years ago where we would go to my buddy's house in Rhode Island and we would watch, I don't know, whatever one's in the spring. Is it WrestleMania or?
WrestleMania, yeah.
WrestleMania. And we would go and we would watch WrestleMania at his house every year. And it was just one of those nights where everybody would just fucking let loose. No one judged anybody. We were all there for the same reason. And we all just acted like we were fucking 9, 10 years old.
Yeah, you just mark out.
Yep, and but the only difference was we were 9, 10-year-olds that got to drink a bunch of beer and act a fool. And it was the best. It was the best fucking times, because you know how it is, dude. Like, you hear that glass break or that gong and the lights go off, and you're just like, oh, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a
everybody
spectacle.
Just gets all amped up.
I still follow. I don't follow as much as I used to. I only watch like the big events.
Same.
I don't follow every, weekly show. But I watch those, as they're called, PLEs now, premium live events. And when something like that happens, I still get like chills. I'm like, holy shit, because the production value is even better now. And it's just like, oh shit.
Oh, it's
what's going to happen. And it's mindless entertainment. You put it on, you forget about whatever the fuck else is going on in the world.
Yeah, you just enjoy it.
You drink some beer, you eat some pizza or wings or whatever you want, and then you're just having a good time.
It is the epitome of fun, because no matter what, like, it's not like real sports. Like, I could never get mad. Like, like a wrestler I like losing a match will never come close to making me as like mad as like the Broncos losing a game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
because it is, it's scripted.
It's not real. Like,
yeah,
it is, but it isn't.
And if anything, that might create a more interesting storyline going forward. It's yes, the matches mean everything, but also the storylines mean everything equally. It's what are they building towards? Where are they going with this?
Correct.
The outcome can lead to different branching paths. So it's interesting from a storytelling perspective. But I'm never like, oh, if somebody who I wanted to win loses, I'm like, oh, shit, I think they should have won that. But I can get why they didn't, and here's why. Because from a booking standpoint, it's like, well, let's see what they do with it. Unless they completely bury somebody, and that sucks.
But even when you completely bury somebody in the WWE, it's only like a matter of time before they come back. Unless they're like basically fired or being kicked off, like, like thrown out of, the show, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like, it was just such a fun thing as like a little kid. Like, it's still just a way for me to like channel back to being a kid, even though I wasn't super into it as a kid. I mean, I dropped a nacho covered in cheese on Bret Hart's shoulder one time in the Providence Civic Center. And that was really cool to me. Like, when he looked up at me and was like, and like gave me one of these, and I was like, shit. And I was with Brandon and his dad, who's like, Brandon's dad was like a third dad to me. and or like he was like my third dad because I had three dads, and my dad, Ryan's dad, and Brandon's dad, and he took me, Ryan, Brandon, and I believe it was Jill or himself. It was the four of us, and we went, and I dropped a nacho. And if anybody knows Brandon's dad, and I love Joe, we call him Joe Bledsoe because he's still mad to this day that the Cowboys benched Drew Bledsoe for Tony Romo. And he was like, he's the most soft spoken, like easygoing, nice, like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Would never like his version of like discipline was like so chilled.
Yeah.
And like he just looked at me and just goes, Joey, why would you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I saw an opportunity and I took it. Like I didn't think it was like I had to test it because there was like a gap. And I was like, I don't think this is the real place where they walk out. And because we were sitting right above the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't believe it. And I just took the nacho and I dropped it. And I didn't mean to hit him, but it did. And he just looked up, saw me, and just pointed at me like all angry, like, you know. And I was just like, oh, fuck. I'm like, Brett, the Hitman Hart wants to kill me. I'm fucked. Like, I'm not leaving this place alive. And Brandon and Ryan are fucking dying laughing, and Brandon's dad just he was the king of like I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Which was 10,000 times worse. And but it was cool as shit because I forget why, but the Undertaker was there that night. We saw him wrestle. Like I forget what year it was. It was in middle school, probably like 6th grade, so it had to have been like 95, 96, 97, somewhere in there.
Yep.
But it was unbelievable. It was such a cool experience. I'll never forget it. And even though I wasn't like the biggest fan of wrestling, like I always kept up with it or like kept abreast to it just because it was funny to me. Like it was really cool. And I did dig certain aspects of it, but I didn't have like the time to invest in it.
Yeah. But at least for that, you were there in the moment and you were a part of it for that one instance. Like it's funny you bring that up.
When the
Bret
gong
Hart
went off at the Civic Center and the lights went out when the Undertaker was coming out, it was like, I mean, it's still one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, to be there to see that live.
Football games, I've seen walk-off home runs, walk-off touchdowns, Daytona 500s. Like, I've seen a lot of shit in my sports life live, and that was still one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen was the Undertaker's entrance.
I'll finish the wrestling stuff with my anecdote here. It's funny you mentioned Bret Hart. You dropped a nacho on him.
Covered in cheese.
Me and a few friends went to go see WCW live at the Civic Center as well. And Bret Hart had recently moved to WCW. He left WWF. The Montreal Screwjob happened. Everybody that knows about wrestling knows what that is.
We all know what that one is.
But this was at peak Goldberg mania. Like, so
Goldberg was a fucking animal, dude.
Me and Brendan Conley and our dads, and I think Paul came with us too. But both Brendan and I made signs for Goldberg. And it's announced that Goldberg, they announced it over the PA, Goldberg is currently en route. He's late. They got a helicopter for him to get here on time tonight in general.
I remember this.
Turns out he didn't show up.
No shit.
Because he just couldn't get there on time. So they ended up refunding everybody's tickets because he was the reason why everyone was there. He was on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
But that being said, Bret Hart came out for a match, and we had like second row seats, like or like third, but very close to the barricade. Where just outside the ring, and Brendan's holding up his Goldberg sign, and Bret Hart walks by us, and Bret Hart legit spit on him.
That's fucking awesome.
Because he was also talking. Bean was just like, fuck you. Like, or maybe not fuck you, but like, you suck.
Stranger to fucking run in his mouth.
Yep. But he spit on Brendan. And, in today's world, that would be considered assault and what have you. But what are you going to do?
I mean, like, you think about, like, but that era of wrestling was so wild. Like, and I think that was right during the Attitude Era, right?
Yes, it was.
So that was like, I mean, do you remember like the clip of like Vince McMahon, the CEO of WWE, just going to John Cena when John Cena was like trying to be like a hood kid and just being like, ninja, and just like drops an N-bomb on live television and walks away.
Yeah, he said, hey, all right, my nigga.
Yeah, and we're like, wait, you can't say that on TV, and then you go. But when you go back to that era, you could get away with it, and it was wrestling, and there was just a certain expectation and a certain caveat and a certain free pass, if you will, that the WWE got that no one else got. Like, no one else, no other CEO. Like, if that was today, Vince, they would be the Jamel Hills, ESPN, they'd be like, we don't even talk about wrestling, but we want him fucking fired. We want him gone. Like,
well, because he said it on live television. Yeah.
Right. But back then, it was just like, oh shit. Like, all right. Like, but it was almost they treated wrestling the same way they treated like South Park or Family Guy. Like, yeah, they say some crazy shit sometimes. What do you want?
But it's a TV show, and context, like you said, that's when John Cena was still doing his rapper gimmick, the Professor of Thugonomics thing, where he would
Italians
do freestyles.
Are up 1-0.
Exactly. So it made sense within the context. Is it cringe? Yes, but
looking back at, I mean, yes,
there's far worse things that Vince McMahon has done before, during, and after than him saying.
I guess it depends on how much you believe of the reports or the shit that we've heard about Vince McMahon doing over the years.
Yeah, him dropping a soft A and not the hard R N-bomb is the least of the worst things that he's done.
For real. And you know what though? It's a testament to what a juggernaut he turned the WWE into.
Yep.
Because it's that proof. Because that clip is still not only like exists, but is like paraded around on the reg, and nobody even bats an eye. But if you're a first round draft pick coming out of college in the NFL, and you said something disparaging when you were fucking 14 years old, somebody will go dig up your tweets and use it.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon, the CEO of the WWF, he just gets free pass out of it, which again, it just goes to show you that not all men are created equal.
Exactly. And in fact, I will bring up the clip now because we just talked about it. So here we go.
Boss? How you doing?
Yeah. What's good in the hood?
Just holding it down, trying to take care of business.
Keep it up, I'm a nigga.
In the walk. And Booker T standing right there.
Well, remember when Booker T slipped up and said it on during a live cut? When I think he was talking to, I forget who he was talking to.
Hulk Hogan.
But he was like, yeah, he was talking to Hulk Hogan through, was it Miss Sherry or whatever?
Sherry was the manager of Harlem Heat, and Mean Gene was there.
Yeah, and Mean Gene. And he's like, and we're coming for you, Nugga. And it was like, wait, what? Like, and you just see him just go like, and do one of these, like,
yep.
Fuck. Like, and he immediately realized what he said, but he was just so wrapped up in the moment. Like,
and Mean Gene, being the consummate professional that he is and was,
let it slide.
He just carried on, and I'll bring that up now too.
Just kept it rolling. Like he was so good, dude. It's just they're such pros, dude.
Yep.
It's the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I should point out for the record, Stevie Ray, look at this. Take a look.
Like, dude, it's just I mean, and again, what a great product that we have. Like, what a beautiful entertainment product. And I know there's a lot of like really dark shit that happens behind the scenes, but I don't want to look at that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole tonight. Tonight we're celebrating Austin 316. So we're celebrating Austin Stone Cold Day, and I just want to put the NFL, the WWE on the pedestal that it belongs on, and just celebrate all the classic moments. Because again, you can have stuff like that happen during live cuts, and nobody cares. Like, no one cares. Everyone's just like, yeah, dude, it's wrestling. Like, what do you want? It's like the only thing where shit like that happens, and everybody's just like,
it's
whatever.
acceptable because it's kayfabe. It's scripted. It is its own thing.
And people don't know. Like, and that's the thing of like Vince McMahon says it, you can be like, well, it was scripted. What do you want me to do? Like,
That's like people getting mad at something that's said in any show, like a Always Sunny or Letterkenny or something where
Oh,
they say
yeah.
something controversial, or South Park, like, oh, they said you can't say it's a comedy show, it's a drama. Like Law and Order has controversial shit all the time, and that's been on for decades.
Right.
It
Yeah, if you don't like it, just go away.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like change again, but that comes kind of full circle to, what we talk about all the time is just if you don't like something, hey man, like all you gotta do is this.
Yep.
Like that's it. And you don't have to see it anymore. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to hear about it. You don't have to see it. You just do this and it's gone. Poof. And the people who enjoy it can enjoy it, and the people that don't enjoy it can just do something else. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world where everybody's going to be in everybody else's business, and that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all up in we're all up in Iran's business right now.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's what I was about to get to.
What if we just send Stone Cold over to Iran and be like, "Where's the Iron Sheik?"
Right.
And just like bring him out of retirement and just snuff him. And we're like, "Oh, guess America wins again." Just like when you guys took the hostages, guess we win again.
Iran wants to put the oil prices and everything else in the supply chain that they're a part of in a camel clutch. Well, Austin 316 says I'm gonna go in there and whip some ass.
Allah says that your God's chosen people. Austin 316 says I'm gonna whip that candy ass.
Exactly.
Texas
So-
rattlesnakes coming for vengeance.
As far as the updates with that goes, it's still ongoing.
Not
Really,
for much longer, but
the-
yeah.
The only bigger news to come out of it, other than some extra strikes happening in places, is the supply chain line there,
Of
where
course,
some
the
shits
Strait
have been
of
hit.
Hormuz, that strait obviously is crucial to oil prices all across the globe.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the big thing this week. And obviously Trump is telling people, asking the UK and France and all these EU countries,
Even
say-
China
say-
and Japan.
yeah, basically being like, hey, like we'll open the strait, but you guys got to help secure it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those countries saying no, I think is a profound glimpse into the future of relations between the U.S. and the rest of the world.
Very much so. Yeah.
Because I think this, and this is just me, just kind of spitballing from what I've seen and heard, and kind of just using like applying common sense. Trump has been lobbying to separate ourselves from the EU and everybody else in terms of how we police the world and how much money we spend policing the world, while these other countries just spend their money on whatever the fuck they want because they don't have to. And
Yep.
I think the chickens are coming home to roost for the rest of the world because, Trav, for example, how many times do you have your liberal friends and your well, I don't know how many liberal friends you have. I'm sure you got a bunch. But how many times do they have a moment of retard, and then like, well, Europe has universal health care, and Europe is so much better than us. In Europe, and you don't have to do it. They pay for this in Europe, and in Europe you get this much time off, and blah 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 blah, and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, do you know why these European governments can afford to spend their money on all this bullshit? Because they're not spending money defending their countries because we are.
That, and they're also not letting in mass immigration.
Well, they weren't until recently. Now they all are. And
Well,
now they're all
certain
fucked,
ones,
but-
I think it's
Poland.
like Denmark and Norway, I believe, have very strict immigration laws, like way stricter than ours.
And Poland is in there too.
And they're like, oh, well, this country is like a socialist country, and it works for them. Why can't it work for us? Well, because they're a fraction of the size of the United States,
yeah,
and
because they're about the
they're not-
size of Rhode Island.
yeah, and they're
they
not
have
letting
closed borders.
just anybody in.
Yeah,
When it's on a
they're not-
much smaller scale, that type of government can work.
they're
uh,
not letting in all these scholars and astronauts, from
Yeah.
these sub-Saharan countries to come in, and they're like, oh, he could be a scholar or an astronaut, or he's a scholar, and then turns out, nope, never mind, he's just a rapist and a murderer. Our bad.
Yeah, the same thing they said about
Sorry.
George Floyd could have been this and that, but he wasn't,
George Floyd was a career criminal,
and he wasn't going to be those things. So
listen, like we just said, not all men are created equal, unfortunately, and that goes tenfold for the real world, not just the WWE. But to your point, Trav, like, yeah, there's certain countries in Europe that aren't letting in, these hordes of immigrants. Meanwhile, Germany, France, Spain, Britain,
yep,
I
the
mean,
UK.
these countries they've all but fallen at this point. And if you look at the numbers and the statistics, the videos, I mean, you can't take a walk. If you walk around the Eiffel Tower right now, it's all fucking garbage and homeless people.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting. I mean, not that France was ever clean before, the immigrant crisis, but it's not making it any better. And
Certainly.
all these things that, these EU countries like to brag about, like, they love to brag about their universal health care, which is total bullshit anyway. We all know that. I think I've told this story before but I'll say it again because it's worth re-mentioning. One of my buddies was he sailed professionally, sailboats, racing sailboats, like Newport to Bermuda, LA to Hawaii, sailed the Great Lakes, all these things. Like, he sailed, and sailing is a very internationally driven sport.
Yeah.
And there are people from all over the world who are excellent at what they do. Now, people might think like, oh, how hard is it to sail a boat? It is extremely difficult, I can fucking assure you.
Yeah, the conditions change whenever, like, it's
not
the
just
ocean.
Like, oh, put the sail up and let's go for a cruise. Like, nope, this isn't your mom's fucking, 24-foot fucking, whatever, Mercury cruiser or whatever it was.
No, it's hard work. It's labor. You have to constantly be on your toes because things can change at the drop of a hat.
Yes, people die. Like,
It's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen like some of these boats, but like he was on the ones that, like, they're so light and they have the foils on them where they come out of the water.
Okay, yeah.
And like it's fucking real shit. And they got these cranks to these real to crank the sails in and and tighten them up and whatever. Like, I won't get into the minutia of it, but a lot of times, like, say like a guy had like, and this is one example that my buddy gave me, and we were sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings one day, and he's just going off about the Europeans and their universal health care and how much bullshit it is. He's like, I had a friend who was sailing, and he was like, the guy, his friend, was like a couple levels above him even. Like, he was sailing for like Larry Ellison and Oracle. Like, that kind of, like, I mean, I'm talking like big fucking money shit.
Yeah, billionaires.
Like when you go on the boat, like after the race, when you're hanging out at the end and all the boats are docked and like all the private yachts are there and they're all open to all the competitors. He's like, yeah, the house wine on those boats is like $3,000 a bottle. Like, he's like, that's their house wine. That's not even the good shit. Like, and I'm like, and he's like, and I'm not fucking exaggerating. And like, you look it up and it's true. But anyhow, so this guy was on like that level. This dude, I think he was from, I don't know if he was from France or whatever. He was somewhere over in Europe. And he had to come to America. He basically came in on a, I want to say it was like a 6-month visa, got on Mass Health because he had a torn rotator cuff and needed surgery before the sailing season started, whenever that is. Came over, got a 6-month visa, got on Mass Health, got the surgery done in like 2 or 3 months, and was back and recovered, like PT'd, recovered, and fully ready to go for his season within like 6 months. Do you know how long they quoted him before he was going to be able to get that surgery in his home country?
Like 2-3 years.
38 months.
I wasn't. Yeah,
that was just to get into like the initial phases of getting it. Like, it would have been 5 or 6 years before he got that surgery done in Europe.
Yeah,
because their whole philosophy is deny and hope you die.
Yeah, it's the same with Canada. It's free health. Well, it's not free because you're paying for it through taxes. But it just bogs down the system where you could be waiting.
When was the last time you or I got anything for free that was actually worth it?
I don't really like to talk about that weird hand job I got, but
I mean, it's they said it was a chick, but I don't know. Those calluses said otherwise. I didn't look, but
I have a suspicion that person was a roughneck who worked the oil
Yeah.
fields,
Right?
and maybe even out on a offshore rig.
Yeah. Are you from Venezuela? Jesus Christ.
Those calluses. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, my God, man. Like, do you deadlift professionally? Because Jesus.
It's like you don't gotta tenderize the meat.
Yeah. Just go ahead and just give it a quick stroke, man. God. You know, you're beleaguering the point here.
Yeah, exactly.
But my point is, like, all these European fucking countries have been piggybacking off of us. Like, we love as Americans, right? We always love to brag about our military and how great it is, right? We're like, you know, what's the greatest Navy in the world? The U.S. Navy. What's the second greatest Navy in the world? The United States Coast Guard.
Mhm.
You know, what's the third greatest Navy in the world? Like, the Marines. You know what I mean? Like, we could go on and on and on about, like, oh, we have the best Air Force. And who has the second best Air Force? The United States Marines. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we dominate everything in terms of technology. Not like we might not dominate like numbers wise. Like, yeah, China's got a shitload more people than us, and they're all conscripted, so they're all forced into it.
Yes.
But in the United States, we don't have a draft anymore. Like, we did away with that. Like, we'll likely never have a draft again because we have enough people to man our military top to bottom on every because we incentivize people to do it. Now, you know, there's a whole lot of arguments to be made about how we treat them afterwards and all that other shit, but like that's for a different day. But the point is that we'll never have a draft. We have the greatest military in the world, and we spend a lot of our defense budget defending other countries against countries like Iran, Somalia, you know, all these fucking hostile Middle Eastern countries that want nothing more than to see you die.
Yep. To keep
And
North Korea at bay.
Yeah. And not
yeah.
for nothing, but like if we didn't police the waterways like we do, free trade wouldn't exist as it does. Because these boats would be getting fucking hijacked left and right.
Yeah, I mean, it's already bad enough as it is, even with our intervention when we can be there to stop it.
Correct.
But you can't prevent all crimes from happening, but
No, but my point, but the
you
point,
can mitigate it.
But the bottom line is, so Trump calls on the rest of the EU to say, hey, like, we'll open the Strait of Hormuz. Don't worry. It'll be open. You'll be able to sail through it. Everybody will be able to sail through it. Nice, crisp, clean, and clear. But you guys are going to have to help keep it open.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, nope, fuck you. We're not getting involved in a war. And I want Trump just to be like, you know what? Okay, you do you. And then Trump just be like, hey, Texaco, Exxon, all that oil in Venezuela, go get it. We ain't getting shit from the Middle East no more because you know what? We don't fucking need it.
Yeah.
And then just watch the rest of the world get their balls ripped apart because they don't want to pay to play.
Yeah, because if the United States isn't going to be able to do it without support, like you said, Trump should just say, hey, all right, you know what? Fuck it.
We don't need you.
You guys now try to figure this out without our help, because guess what? It's not going to, and you can't do it without us. So,
Right. And part of Trump's America First agenda was to cut nonsensical spending and stop paying for the rest of the world's boondoggles and being everybody else's fucking teat that they suck off of when they need money. Like,
yeah.
No, like, all right, you guys want green initiatives in Germany? Pay for it yourselves. You guys want fucking, free healthcare in France? Pay for it yourself. Because we're not going to fund it anymore. And when people say, oh, we're not funding it, no, we're indirectly funding it because we're picking up a major tab for all these countries in terms of defense and military spending that I don't think people realize how much we contribute to the stability of the globe. Because without the United States military and without our world policing, the whole world would be fucking chaos right now.
Well, I think they might realize it. If they don't, then whatever, that's on them. But I think they do. Some of them do, and they're just not willing to admit it.
Well, of course they're not going to admit it.
And they're too
because
stubborn.
Then they have to admit they're wrong.
And it's simply because Trump is in power. And it has nothing to do with the United States being the United States. If this was a Democratic leader or anybody but Trump, really, let's be honest, they would probably be on board for it and be like, yeah, hell yeah. We
But
did
if
the right
this was a
thing.
Democrat, but if this was a Democrat leader, we'd be shipping fucking pallets of cash and uranium to Iran instead of bombs.
Yeah,
So,
just like
it'd be
exactly
it's
what
a moot
Obama
point.
did.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, like, so we finally get a president that says, "I'm going to do what everybody's been saying they're going to do to Iran for the last 40 years,"
Yeah.
and then the whole world loses their shit because they understand now that now the chickens are coming home to roost,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's going to be time to pay up. And guess what? We're done being your fucking piggy bank. We're done being your charity case, and letting you guys just fucking freeload off of us like you have been. Now it's time for you to pay us. You want our military protection? Pay us. This is why we left that fucking bullshit fucking Paris Climate Accord, you know, where we were funding the whole fucking thing and everybody else was like, yeah, well, of course you're going to fund it. Like, what do you mean we're going to fund it? Like, we're the only reason why all of Europe isn't speaking German and Japanese right now. Why are we funding this shit?
Yeah.
You know, go fuck yourselves. I'm tired of fucking bailing out Europe. Tired of their fucking we're better than you bullshit ass attitude. And I'm frankly, this is why I voted for Trump. If I got to pay 10, 15 cents more at the pump, you know, or 10, 15 more dollars, you know, to fill my gas tank
Mm-hmm.
while this works itself out in the hopes that ultimately we'll be better off because of it and that my nieces and nephews and the next generation will benefit even more greatly for it, I'm all for that.
And yeah, exactly, I agree 100%. And the funny thing is, everything that they're against us for is exactly why these countries are being overrun by outside invaders. But then again, you get a country or like Ireland who has had enough with it, and they're at least a good amount of their citizens are standing up against this Muslim invasion, and they're like, no, enough is enough. Fuck you. This is we see what's happening just over on the other island. That is the rest of the UK, being Great Britain and Scotland. And they're like, we're seeing what's happening over there. It's happening here now. We don't want that to happen. And that's, you know, just the conservative groups there. And
I mean,
they're being called
even
just the
Conor
same
McGregor's
bad
like,
things that
do
we're
I have
being
to run
called.
for office to fix this? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because it comes down to common sense and objective reality. And the people that are allowing this to happen, like you have brought up before, the term, which is now like a universal truth, suicidal empathy. You are doing things and allowing things to happen that are so detrimental to you and yours, your family, your neighbors, actual legal citizens, just because you're like, oh, well, we should just give everybody a chance and blah, 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 and nobody's illegal on stolen land. It's like, you shut the fuck up right now. This is what is
If
causing
I hear
all this harm.
If I heard somebody say nobody's illegal on stolen land in like real life, not on the internet, it would take everything I have not to fire my drink in their face and call them a retard or worse.
Hard agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hard agree.
that has got to be one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my entire life. And the problem is, Trav, is like, you know, we know people like that, and we know people that are like, well, that's true, and that, like, you know, like I have my cousin who's a fucking communist, and you know, people we went to high school with that are still like one of our friends, you know, I know you know exactly who I'm talking about, the one that wrote me a 6-page fucking letter of why he was unfriending me on Facebook a couple months ago. Still posting shit on his Instagram, which he didn't block me from Instagram, by the way, just Facebook. So I still watch his Instagram, and he's still peddling the you know, Trump called people suckers, the military suckers and losers bullshit. And I'm like, see, this is why I call you a retard.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, and I know that that's not true.
Yeah,
But you keep saying it as if it is.
They ignore
So-
context.
Right. Or no, it never happened. That was never said. That came from a completely anonymous source. That was like, when everybody looked into it, was like, wait, what? And then the person who wrote it ended up admitting that it wasn't actually a quote. And it was like, it was something they heard. And you're like, oh, okay. So it was never said. Right. Got it. And it ultimately came to fruition that it was never said. And it's like, and of course, if you just apply like 6 levels, not even 6 levels, like 6 micro levels of common sense to anything, you're like, well, that actually doesn't sound true. And lo and behold, it wasn't. but people will still peddle that shit just the same way they push. They still say, you know, there are very fine people on both sides. All right, like at this point, you're either being disingenuous or you're retarded. Which one is it? Because either way, I don't have patience for you.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this shit, like these people get proven wrong at a minute you can measure by a rate you can measure by the minute. And then and rather than acknowledge that they were wrong and say like, oh, you know what? I was wrong about that, my bad. They just move on to the next thing to be outraged about and hope you forget about the thing they were just wrong about 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have no ability to feel shame anymore. Their movement and their ego and everything else has completely removed them from feeling any type of shame from being called a hypocrite. They don't care.
It's
They
extreme
know they're
narcissism.
hypocritical.
Where their opinion is the only one that matters. If you don't
because
agree
I
with
went to
them,
school, and I've got some stuff you should read. Okay, I had really good professors at BCC.
I got a liberal arts degree, and therefore I know everything about everything. It's like you have probably one of the most worthless degrees out there besides something in gender
I got
studies.
a fucking degree in communications from Bridgewater, and I'll be the first one to tell you it's fucking useless.
Most are, unless you're going to school, to college specifically to be an engineer, or a scientist or a doctor in the medical field or something like that. You kind of don't need it. Get hands-on training if it's a field that you can do that in vocationally or what have you, or just get real life experience in something. You don't need college. College is
the college scam has I mean the curtain has been pulled back.
Mm-hmm.
We see the wizard now. You know, we see who you are. And but people still fall for it, dude. People like even my friends are still like, oh yeah, you know, I'm saying already starting a savings account for my kid for college because you know by then it'll be probably 10 times more expensive. I'm like, why would you even be thinking about sending your kid to college at this point? Well, because you know they gotta go, they gotta do it. I'm like, real? I'm like, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah.
If I was you, I would not be sending my kid to college if they would have to pay me to send my kid to college. So what? So your kid can go to college, learn to be fucking become a communist, and then live in your basement till they're 40, and then decide that your son decides he's a girl, chops his dick off, and goes and shoots up a synagogue? Like,
yeah.
What are we doing here? What do you think? Like, do you think you're somehow above all that? Like, you fucking ignorant fuck? Like, get a grip, dude.
Yeah, my sister, she still leans pretty far to the left. Well, not far to the left, but she ebbs and flows. She's back on some of her liberal bullshit again now. But that being said, her oldest child, my niece, is in high school now. She chose to go to a vocational high school and wants to do automotive work.
Smart kid.
And I was like, good for you. College is a scam for the most part. You like working on. She's grown up with her uncles and other family members working on cars. She already has an interest in it. She wants to do that. I was like, that's great. There's always going to be a place for you, that job. And it's not going to go anywhere. And you're good. You're smart to actually do that instead of pursue something, a degree in something that isn't going to amount to anything really, just other than debt.
And like even one of my youngest cousins, and she's pretty smart, and she went for I think she wanted to go to school for like paleontology, right?
Oh, which I wanted to do when I was a kid because I love dinosaurs, but
right, which that's what you think you're going to school for, until you realize that like you get into it and like you start doing like geology, paleontology, all this other shit, right? And then you start getting into the inner workings of it, and you're like, oh, I'm destined to work in the oil fields, aren't I? And you're like, yeah, pretty much. And so she's doing pretty well now, but she's not doing anything that she thought she was going to be doing.
Right.
You know, like you said, like you want to go, like, I want to go dig for dinosaur bones and do all that cool shit. And it's like, cool. You know what you're actually going to do? You're going to go discover oil fields for really, 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 really rich companies, and you're going to get paid very well to do it. And then you're like, and then you know what? And then those kids, then they'll get a couple of paychecks. They'll make some money. Their student debt will go away, and they'll be like, you know what? I can put my morals to the side a little bit here and do this. You know, It's not what I always wanted to do, what I envisioned myself doing, but you know what? It pays the bills, and it pays them really well. So cool. And I mean, I think that's the path my cousin's on anyway. But, you know, nonetheless, I wish nothing but the best for her.
Yeah.
Because she's not an asshole or like a liberal douchebag. Not, at
Mhm.
least not that I know of. I don't really, she's only like, I think like 22, 23 years old, which I just
Oh.
found out like at my brother's wedding. She was old enough to drink when she came up to me with a beer in her hand. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, you can't have that.
Yeah,
And
who
she's
gave
like,
that to you?
And she's like, I think she was like, I'm 22. And I'm like, fuck out of here. No, you're not. You're a child. Go put that down. I was like, I see what you're doing, trying to sneak
Yeah.
booze. And she's like, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck. And she's very short too. So it's like also like it just fucks with my head. But anyway, but no, but like, like, those are the kind of things that happen. Like, yeah, like, okay, so she went and got a degree in like science, basically, which is not a terrible idea because science can lead you into that's a multifaceted avenue.
Yeah,
Whether it be
I mean,
medical, oil, there's a billion jobs that you can make.
I mean,
damn good
granted,
money
you're going to
off of.
probably pick one specific branch of it, but still, yes, it's
I think a lot of kids
It's
that go
important.
through those fields ultimately it just like kind of fall into one.
yeah.
where they're
They'll
like-
feel it out whatever they figure out what they're most
they'll-
interested in. Then
they'll
also
go do something. They'll go do
best
something
at
on
with their
accident one day, and they're like, "Oh, I want to
natural
be a marine
aptitudes.
biologist and study whales." Next thing you know, they're out in the, they're on an oil rig in the Gulf, drilling.
I thought you were
for
going to say next thing you know they're out in Japan clubbing dolphins and
Oh, that too. Maybe they're out. They're like, the baby seals have gone this way. We must club them to make coats, and they just track baby seals and just
Mhm.
like yes. They're like what's his name, Negan from Walking Dead before it got
Yeah.
gay. And he's just like-
Lucille.
yeah, he's got the club, and he's like, yeah, spiked bat these bitches. Yeah,
Why'd you put barbed wire on it? They're just baby seals because it makes them remember. Like,
Yeah.
something like that.
it adds a little bit of flavor to the party,
Yeah, so sue me. I'm Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, I actually think I stopped watching Walking Dead before it got to Negan, but anyway,
I did too. Yeah,
yeah, but I knew of him through pop culture reference.
I did because I do like the actor. He was great as the comedian in the Watchmen movie.
Speaking of great comedians and great shows, I don't know if you've seen on HBO Max Rooster with Steve Carell.
Oh, I saw the preview for it the other day.
Fucking hysterical. I'm 2 episodes. The second episode just aired on Sunday. And my
Yeah,
wife
he's
and I
like a
started
college
watching
professor or whatever, right?
it. No, his daughter's a college professor. He's an author.
All
And
right.
It's this whole thing and how he gets roped into it. It's just but it's pretty classic Steve Carell comedy, and it's pretty fucking funny, dude. Like, I was laughing out loud. It was actually what I was watching before I came on.
Yeah, I never watched The American Office, but I big fan of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, really? You never watched The Office was great.
I watched the Ricky Gervais original.
Okay.
I mean,
That's fair.
I'm aware of the characters in The Office. I know who Dwight Schrute is. I know what his
Oh, yeah.
deal is.
See, like
Through osmosis, I know certain things and
Right.
like the memes.
yeah, everybody talking about it. And
But I've never watched an actual episode of it. I was more into Parks and Rec.
you know what's funny is we were more into The Office. I never could really get into Parks and Rec, even though I love Ron Swanson and what's her name there, the funny, the really funny girl, not the blonde, the younger
Aubrey
dark-haired-
Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. Yeah.
Well, her and Chris Pratt, April and Andy were fucking dynamite.
Oh yeah, they're hilarious. But like, I could never get into that show like I got into The Office.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's just because I caught The Office at the right time. Like,
Right.
so my brother's buddy had like bought like a stolen laptop back in the day, and it's like back before you could track laptops and stuff. And it was a big motherfucker. Like, it was like a big 20-inch screen on it. Like, it was a big, thick,
Mhm.
heavy Toshiba laptop. Like,
Yeah, giant
And it had-
battery in it too and everything.
yeah, and it had like the first 3 seasons of The Office on it. And my wife and I would just put it on the laptop on the table by the couch, and we would just watch it on the computer.
Yeah.
And we fucking fell in love with the show through that stolen laptop,
Mhm.
basically. And yeah, the rest was history. And then we were like hooked on every single episode from there on out. It was
Yeah,
great.
I'm sure it's fine. I just never got into it, and I don't have much of a desire to start now, although I could. It's
I think if you already kind of know, even though you know most of the stuff about it, it might be worth going back and watching it just to kind of like even if it's just casually,
Hmm.
you know, at your leisure. But it was really good. It was.
Oh,
a
and the
really
cast
funny
on
show.
it is great too. From
The cast is phenomenal.
so no, I'm not bad mouthing it. I just didn't start
Oh,
watching
I
it when it
getcha.
was a thing. I never got on the bandwagon. But I heard about Parks and Rec. I started watching that, and it's the same format of like these people are being followed
Pretty
around
much.
by a documentary team. It's
Yeah, it's the same show with just a different cast,
yes,
and it is. I would say probably just as good. I mean, but again, it's kind of like the same thing. So if like you've seen one, you've probably seen the other
yeah,
in a lot of ways. But there's just obviously the nuances and different like subtleties and stuff like that are a lot different. But
hmm
either way, both great shows in their own right. I mean, I do love Parks and Rec. I put it on all the time. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
I still think Parks and Rec is hilarious. I mean, I never don't laugh when I watch it, but I've just never been able to go back and start like season 1, episode 1 and just run it through.
hmm
I don't know why. And it's not because like I'm sure it's not because I wouldn't enjoy it or don't enjoy it. It's just I just haven't dedicated the time to it.
Well, that's like it. That show is almost like Sunny, like Sunny.
Sonny's another one I've never really watched. I know enough about it through
I
like
I
some
love it. I used to
pieces, but-
follow it like religiously, and then I just kind of fell off, so I haven't caught up. But with Sunny, Danny DeVito wasn't a part of it until season 2, and season 1 was fine. But
Mhm.
as soon as he's on the show and his character Frank is introduced, it completely changed it in a good dynamic.
It's
Like
good to know.
it-
I have to watch Sonny because one of my buddies at work is like a huge fan of Sonny. Like it's one of his favorite shows.
it's
And he's like, I can't believe you've never seen it. And I'm
it's so good.
like, I know it's good. Like I know it's good. I'm not even arguing that I wouldn't love it.
Mhm.
I'm an asshole like that, and I just don't want to dedicate the time to it.
Well,
you know?
that's how I am with The Office. It's just
Yeah.
I'm sure it is great. I just
It's just gonna take the right moment for me to start watching it, get hooked, and then I'll see the whole thing.
and me even as a fan from the beginning of Sunny, I still am like seasons behind on what they've done so far because I just haven't caught up with it.
Right.
I can now. Maybe I
that
will.
happened to me with Archer at the end.
Yeah, same.
I think like the last two, like I was like 2 seasons behind Archer being like or I didn't watch the last season until like way later. And I think it was just because I knew like Mallory was dead. Like, well, the woman who did Mallory's voice wasn't there. And like,
Mhm.
it was just totally different. And I knew it was going to be different. And I'm like, I don't know. I think I just resisted that one because I didn't want to see it end. But neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would get like the last time I got behind on a show like that, like I still haven't finished Stranger Things.
Oh,
I think I watched
I
the
gave up
first-
after season 2. I was like
Yeah,
what
I
the
watched
fuck was that?
I watched the first episode of season 5, and I loved the first 4 seasons. I thought they were great, and it was super cool, and I really enjoyed it. And then I watched the first season of episode 5, and it was like an hour and like 40 minutes long, and I'm like, all right, like I get it. Like we got a lot to do here, so I get it. The episodes are gonna be a little longer. And then it got spoiled for me via Twitter and social media, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't really feel like I need
What's
to
the
finish
point?
this anymore. Like that seems pretty fucking gay, so I'm just not gonna watch it. Or at least not hustle to watch it. I'll wait for a rainy day and I'll probably pick it back up. But
Yeah, when it's out of the current zeitgeist and you're like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I can go back to that now that
yeah,
nobody's
let me go,
talking
"Oh,
about
you
it
know what?
anymore."
I got nothing to do today. Let me go check this out real quick.
Sure.
You know, and just see. And then I'll probably end up watching all the whole fucking last season and probably loving it and being like, oh wow, this was great. But I don't know. Like I did the same thing with Breaking Bad. I didn't pick that up till like season 4 or 5. Game of Thrones I didn't pick up until season 4. Until like season 1, 2, and 3 were out on DVD and 4 was coming out. And I bought the first 3 seasons on DVD and me and my wife binged them all. And we fell in love with it and then started watching it like religiously
Yeah,
from there.
that show I watched from day one and loved and followed it to the bitter end. And I
The
do mean
bitter,
bitter because
bitter
the
end.
way it ended was just,
Bullshit.
well, it was just rushed.
It was just
Uh,
stupid. It was just it was lazy, rushed. Like
I mean, it doesn't help that the book that George R.R. Martin hadn't finished the actual goddamn book series yet.
Yeah, but you know what though? Put
I
on
mean,
the
they
fucking
consulted him for information on where he was going to take it, and then they were able to use that and do what they will with it.
but you can't.
But
get
even
these
he
fucking-
said they were like, "Yo, you guys fucked it up."
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and they torched that thing. I mean, they took a fucking, they took a killdozer to the side of that and just had no remorse.
Well, you're gonna take 8 years, I think,
Yeah.
or 9 of build up to these 2 huge major plot points, and they're both resolved in 1 episode each,
Yeah,
and unsatisfyingly.
yeah. Arya just like comes flying out of nowhere and stabs the Night King, who can
Dude,
see
the
everything.
whole battle at well, first of all, it was filmed too dark. You could barely see anything.
Well,
and
yeah, 'cause
secondly,
I think they
that-
were trying to cut back on the budget at that point.
That entire battle should have been like 2 full episodes long itself.
That whole battle could have been a season
At least half.
or half a season. Like, I mean, when you look back at the shit that they drew out throughout, like I think it was like season 5 when like Arya was becoming the faceless man,
Right.
and she was like oysters, clams, and cuckolds,
Mhm.
and selling her shit. Like, that whole story arc took like fucking 7 episodes.
Yes.
And it was stupid and pointless. And I'm like, but then you get to something that's not stupid and or pointless, and you're just like, 1 episode, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
It
I'm still mad about it. Every time it comes up, I still get like a little bit angry about it.
it made me mad. And I'll say this about it. Before I got to take a piss, but
Yeah.
my mom, who was passing away that year, I was like, "Hey, Mom, do you want to watch? You want to finish Game of Thrones?" Because she was a huge fan of it. I'd go
Yep.
over to her house to watch it on Sundays sometimes, and we talk about the episodes afterwards and everything. It was great. I was like, "Hey, do you want to finish it? Because it's done." And I watched it, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. And she was like, and she never like looked at spoiler stuff or anything like that. She was
Right.
never really online. She had no social media or anything. But she was like, "Nah, I heard it." She's like, "I heard it shit." And my mom rarely swears. She's like, "No,
Oh.
I'm good." I was like, "Okay," and you're not wrong.
And honestly, I envy you being able to go to the grave not knowing how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
That is a small win for you.
It certainly is. And we'll talk about a few more small wins coming up after I take a piss. If you want to keep on going, unless you need to take a break too.
I do need to take a piss too, so that this works out.
All right, folks, we'll be back in like 3 to 4 minutes, if that.
Not even.
Not even. I'll be back like within like 2.
Okay, same.
All right, buddy. We'll see
All
you
right.
here in a couple, folks.
Yee.
You. Hey, look at that. Perfect timing. Both back at the same time, it seems.
Yeah, that worked out well. I see that window behind me. Yeah, that's my bathroom when I'm on the show. So Wind's blowing in a little stiff tonight, so it was a little, a little more presented few more problems than it usually does. But
I thought of
strong stream winds.
yes, off the starboard bow. But I have contemplated having like a piss jar or jug here at my
refuse to
desk.
do the piss jug thing. I just refuse. I think it's so gross. Like,
It is. I
just-
haven't done it
like,
at home. I've
oh.
never done it at home. I have one in the car, or when I go kayaking. If there's no if I'm on the river and there's not like any valuable land, okay, I'll do it that way.
That's different though. Like you're out in the wilderness,
Yes.
Or
you're out on the road and you don't have any options.
Yeah. You're like,
No, I'm not-
Bear Grylls.
I thought about doing here, but I know it's just too obvious and it's gross.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Like I've thought about doing it, especially when I run like my longer races on iRacing, like when I run like the Indy 500 or the Coke 600, which are like the two longest races of the year.
Oh, Jesus.
And even for those, I'm just like, nope. I'm just gonna wake up. I'm not gonna consume any liquids. I'm gonna sit in this. Like I'll wake up like the morning of the Indy 500 or the Coke 600 because
Yeah.
they're both in May. I usually work overnights on Fridays and I get out at 7. I stop drinking liquid at like 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I come home, I sleep, I take a quick nap. I wake up around 10:30. I go out, cut the grass, sit in the sauna for a half hour, and then come up and race
Mhm.
at noon. And all I bring with me is like 1 Celsius or a C4 to like just nurse throughout the course of the race.
So you have some energy supplement
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So I can at least like give each other, and then the first thing I do as soon as I'm off of that race, I'm just like, and I think I've run them both now. I think I've run them both twice. I've managed to finish them both each time. So I've run all 600 miles and all 5, so 1,100 miles total. So 2,200 total miles, and never once have I had to piss during the race.
Well, because you know what you need to do.
Yeah, and it's just, but I'm like, the first thing I do when I get off of that, I'm just like, get me water. I feel like SpongeBob, that meme where it's just like
Dried out.
dry.
Yeah.
I'm like, please, or like Krusty when he's like adding, he opens up Krusty Land. And they're like, how much salt do you want us to put on the popcorn? He's like, all of it. And his lips just like pucker up, and he's like, put more salt.
Yeah. No,
Oh man.
I get it. Yes, I don't think I'll ever implement a piss jug while streaming. At least I'm more comfortable saying, "Hey, I gotta piss. My toilet is 20 feet from me. I'm gonna.
Yeah, so
I'll be
was
right back."
live. I was live one night. I was doing a live stream of me iRacing one night, and it was the August race at Daytona, and I think it was like 70 laps, which is not even half of what they run regularly. It was just like a regular like 70 lap race. But I'd been, drinking all night and hanging out with the wife, and I came up and decided to do a live stream, and I was like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. And I'm like, fuck it. We come in under caution. Like, I was in first, and it was a caution. I came in, got in, jumped up over to the window, pissed out the window, came back, and I ended up like losing the lead pack, and I ended up finishing like 7th instead. Like,
Okay.
one of my buddies was just like laughing at me on the stream. He's like, it's like Days of Thunder. He's like, I come into the pits, I'm leading. I come out of the pits, I'm in 7th place. What the fuck? Like, and it's like, well, I had to empty my bladder because all those vodka sodas needed somewhere to go. And it was like 35, like we were like 35, 40 laps in. So it was like a good like 35, 40, 20, 30 laps to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm already like doing the pinch and roll, like pinching my dick. And I'm like, there is no fucking way I'm going to make it to the end. It's like, I'm like, I need a caution. And I got one, but it didn't matter. I was still too far behind. And anyway, it was funny though. But
These
it was all
things
in the
happen.
live stream.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
shit,
all in the live stream.
Shit, I was doing the pinch and roll for a good 10 to 15 minutes before I was like, hey, I gotta piss just now. So
Oh, dude, there are times where like I get off the shows, like whether it be this or Roll on C1 on Tuesdays, and like Sean, like I'll be talking to like Sean in the living room, and I'm like, all right, like I hate to cut you off, I was like, but I gotta go because like I'm literally about to like shit my pants, and
yeah.
it's usually because I went to Buffalo Wild Wings for lunch that day. Whoops, who knew?
Oh, it was a great idea.
Yeah, thought it sounded like a good idea at the time. Turns out it wasn't. But nonetheless, but yeah, it's like there have been times like emergencies where like I've almost like not made the toilet. But
These things happen even in your adult life.
this is show business, baby.
You
This is
never
what we
know.
do.
It is, especially when you're on camera. Like it's one thing if I'm playing like a game online or something, and I just have my headset on, no camera involved, I'm just playing, I can just walk to the bathroom, just flip my mic up, it shuts off, and I can piss while I'm still looking at the screen.
Right, so nobody hears it.
Exactly. None's the wiser.
Yeah. Just mute the mic for 30 seconds and you're good.
And I'm right back in it. Like, yeah,
Or you
if
can
I
leave-
die
or
and
you-
I'm respawning, all right, yeah, I'll wait. And
Or you can leave the mic on and just be like, sorry guys, I'm taking a shit right now, and let him hear everything.
oh yeah, if I want
You know,
that to
and that's
happen,
always funny.
at least I have the
I've
option.
done that before.
But with this, it's just like, no, I'm either walking away from my desk here or I'm in front of it. So there.
Yeah, but it always comes back to my habit of like going to Buffalo Wild Wings on my days off.
Mhm.
Never fails.
You know it's not the best decision long term, but in the
No.
moment you're like, I want that fucking food.
And it's not even it's a lot of times not even the best decision in the short term. So
There are better options.
yeah, they usually are. But you know what? They got fairly inexpensive wings and Kino. So, and I got to say, their bone-in wings are actually pretty good.
I'm a bone. Yeah, they do when you're actually
Boneless
eating
suck.
it. A lot of places their boneless sucks. They do have a lot of options when it comes to sauces and dry rubs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say it, dry rub great for wings, terrible for hand jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that Chipotle
Mhm.
hand job. No, thank you.
Well, you just don't want a dry rub it for a hand. At least spin on it. Like,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
come on,
a
you're
good old-
already committed. Like, just
I mean, listen. I mean, a good old dry tugger isn't bad, But if it's the only option, then
yeah.
so be it.
If I'm with Lauren Boebert and I'm in a movie theater,
and it's an over the pants handy,
okay.
Hey, you know what?
I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, exactly. I will take a dry tugger over the pants from Lauren Bobies anytime. But when it comes to wings, yeah, man, I like my liquid sauces.
There are good. I like a Jamaican jerk dry rub. I like a habanero.
Tendies, I like it on, but not wings.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm more of a. Maybe I'll try it tomorrow. I don't know. I was thinking of hitting Buffalo Willie Tits tomorrow.
I mean, to each their own. I usually go to Rose Alley for wings.
See, I would go to Rose Alley, but I'm so adamantly against how they make you pay to park in downtown New Bedford that I refuse to go downtown except on the weekends.
Oh well, that's why you just park at the. Maybe I'm giving away too much here, but I'll say it on the live stream. You just park at the DeMello building in a visitor spot.
Which is right there to the left, right?
It's right next to or across the street from the Y. It's where Santander is. Their drive up.
Oh, okay, good to know.
It's right in between the Y and the Zeitarian Theater.
Okay, I'll have to check that out then. I didn't know that was there. Because usually I go down and, like, if I can't find a spot to park for free, like, on Rose Alley, then I just turn around and leave.
Oh, yes. No, I totally agree.
Because I refuse to put, like, whatever, $1.50 into the fucking meter just to come out to a fucking $20 fine on my thing because it went over by a minute.
Yes.
Like,
no, that
like,
sucks.
I'm down here spending money in your city, giving your businesses my money, and you're going to fine me for parking?
Well, that's
Like-
if you're. Yes, it does suck. But that's only if you're there like during the day, during a weekday. Because the weekends, it's totally free.
Right. Weekends is free, which is like why and I find that like they don't really go
Advertise
far, like, well, they don't go far. Like the meter maids don't venture outside of like Union Street very much, because I've gone down to like 6s and 7s and parked on like one of those side streets over there for like hours without even putting a dime in, and nothing.
Because it's just outside the actual downtown bubble.
Yeah, because meter maids are lazy as fuck. And they're not actually into working. They just want to. I swear to God, like they get that job, and then their whole existence is just to fucking be annoying and piss you off.
Well, why else would they be doing it? Like,
I mean, not for the money. I know that.
yeah, it's not like they're getting making bank doing that.
No, and they definitely don't have a quota, so they can go fuck themselves. But yeah, it's one of my biggest reasons why I avoid downtown pretty much Monday through Friday, at all costs.
Well,
And-
I gave you my tip. I'm probably if enough people watch this and it gets to the wrong people,
Yeah, that'll
that
change.
I just outed myself. But if you want to park there, make sure you park in a spot that says visitor, because there are like reserved spots.
Sure.
So you don't want to risk it. But other than that, dude, I parked there. I walk right across the street, and then across Union, down to Rose or wherever else I may be going.
I mean, I used to do the same thing when I was at Bridgewater. There was a CVS like right off campus, and it would always say like anybody like no student parking, and you used to have to get a little sticker to park on campus. Well,
Yeah.
I would risk parking on campus without a sticker because the odds of a, campus police finding my car with no sticker on it and writing me a ticket were slim
Yeah.
to none. So I would risk that. But the trick of it was that I could park in the CVS parking lot, and I didn't have a sticker on my car, so they didn't know I was a fucking BCC person. I could have just been a regular ass person.
That's a public
So-
parking lot.
Yep, and they never touched my car, so I would park in that CVS like kind of off in a corner, and then I would sneak out behind the building, and I would go to school for a couple hours, come back, never got a fucking ticket parking there, and
There
it was
you go.
because I did not fucking bend the knee and get the goddamn sticker. To park because you need a sticker to park here because we're not charging you enough money as it is to come here, so we got to make sure we charge you more.
Right, isn't that such a racket? It's like that at UMass Dartmouth or any
Yeah,
of these
fuck them.
large campuses with multiple, housing buildings. It's it's wild.
It is. The nickel and diming of this state is just absolutely fucking asinine.
Completely is. I'll tell you what else is asinine, Joey.
Mm.
Muslim attacks.
Are they though? I mean, we kind of got told this back in 2001, and then it went away for a little bit. But now everybody's acting all surprised
Well,
that it's happening again at an alarming rate,
Well,
and we're like, well, what did you expect? You didn't do anything about it the first time when they killed 3,000 people. Would you just think they were just gonna fuck off and go away? Like,
yeah, specifically, it's the left now saying it's racist and Islamophobic to
It's a
say these
made-up
things
word.
when it's, unobjective. It is objectively happening. And it's by these people. Specifically, I'm talking about these 3 attacks that happened last week. The would-be bombing in New York, and then the synagogue attack, and then the other school, which thankfully the ROT students intervened. Unfortunately, not after some loss of life there with the instructor and maybe at least 1 or 2 other students, but the way those kids jumped in and did what was right. And I'm going to say it now, rightfully brutally, because fuck that guy who did the attack. Those kids are heroes. They saved who knows how many lives by stepping in and doing that. And then the synagogue one, they shot that guy dead. Like as soon as he drove his car into there, basically, or like immediately after. And then the bomb in New York, thankfully, those guys sucked at making bombs. And the funniest thing to take away from that is that guy who claims to be a comedian. He also like pretended to be like a Trump supporter and was there on J6 to like instigate. He was the one that filmed himself as the guy threw the bomb over his head.
oh right, yeah.
And he's still backing up saying, but the meme is, all people here are free. All immigrants are welcome. Immediately after that, guy jumps over him, throwing a bomb, yelling Allahu Akbar. Who wanted to kill him?
Was trying to kill him, actively trying.
And anybody else that was there.
Yeah.
And he's still being like, yeah, I stand by this. By what I said, it's like, either you're a satire character at this point, or you are completely fucking retarded.
Well, when you look at some of the headlines that came out over the past week about some of these attacks, like the one from like the New York Times, for example, has been getting like the brunt of these because they had this one headline that came out. It says the Michigan synagogue attacker was a quiet restaurant worker. And it says Mr. Gazil, 41, had worked the front counter at Hamido, a Lebanese restaurant in Dearborn Heights, known for its rotisserie chicken and shawarma. And you're like, yeah, what, dude? Like, no, that's like saying like, like like Austrian, a man, Austrian man who used to be a painter
Yeah.
decided to run for office in Germany, and you're like, boy, that's painting him in an awfully nice light.
Yeah, they're saying the fluff piece stuff about them, but not
they really are though, and
but
it's
not
like,
the truth. And the thing is, anybody can be that. You and I could be that at work. Oh, he was just a quiet guy, or yeah, he was friendly and everything. I never knew he was capable of this. What? That's the
This one
thing.
about-
You don't know what anybody is capable or willing to do until they
No.
actually fucking do it.
And like even this headline about the Ayatollah says Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, hardline cleric who made Iran regional power, dies at 86. No, he didn't die. We fucking killed his ass.
And it completely
We
leaves out all the
smoked
horrible
him.
things he did.
Yeah, and yet you use a hardline cleric. Could you imagine if it was just like, if like the Pope was carrying out like it murdered 30,000 of its own citizens, in a Christian country, like what these people would be fucking saying? But this is why no matter when we say like no matter how much you hate the media, you don't hate them enough. This is what we're talking about.
They gloss over the hard facts that should matter if you're going to be objective. That's the thing. They're not objective. They're completely partisan with their views, and that goes for CNN, Fox News. That's why I don't watch either of those outlets.
Yeah.
I seek it elsewhere. I try to dig as much as I can, try to be informed, and inform my own opinion based on facts, not propaganda from either side. That being said, yes, I am conservative.
This is one of my favorites. At 13, he was selling sneakers. At 18, he's facing terror charges, and that's the one that talks about the bomb attack near Gracie Mansion. And you're like, it's just, again, it's so. Trav, we've been led to believe, like this, and this is why, like when I get annoyed as fuck, borderline angry, when people that we know that consider themselves smart and educated and well-read still champion headlines like there were very fine people on both sides. The people who died for their country are suckers and losers. All these different fucking bullshit headlines that have come out over the years that, Brian Sicknick was killed because he was bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher at January 6th. Like, all these things that have, and that's just 3 of the fucking trillion that have come out over the years that have just been completely false and misrepresented. That's why I get so fucking annoyed when people like that we know still fucking parrot those lines
and blindly parrot it. They're not doing due diligence on their part to
like at this
look
point.
it up.
Like, no, you're beyond not doing due diligence. Now you're being disingenuous. Now you're doing it because your ego won't allow you to go back.
Yes,
and listen, we have become a society of people that is very forgiving. That we tell people all the time, listen, when you are presented with new facts and new information, you are very much allowed to change your mind about something. That is how this works.
As long as you have it within yourself and have the character to be able to admit when you're wrong.
And
the people on the left, by and large, do not possess that virtue.
They absolutely do not. They don't, because you want to talk about people who have been led astray and who are, like you said before, they are the most narcissistic, egotistical fucking morons because they think they're smarter than everybody else. Like what? Because I'm a conservative, a pretty hardline conservative. I don't think that's any mystery. What you think these people think that like, oh, what, I wasn't dumb enough to pay $50,000 for an education?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So from a school that you went to or maybe didn't go to because you actually didn't go to college. Maybe you did a couple years at, community college or whatever. But a lot of you didn't even go to school or get a degree as high as I did. And do things. So because I refused to be indoctrinated by the bullshit that was going on, I'm somehow the dumb one?
No.
It just
yeah.
It makes you step back and think and wonder, like, what the fuck are you people talking about? And then you realize and all you got to do is look at COVID. Just go look at COVID, dude. You had people flipping the fuck out if you walked the wrong way up an aisle in Stop and Shop.
Yep, I got yelled for that by some
like a
unhinged
guy
idiots.
literally, an older gentleman in a full biking suit, cycling suit, which, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world, literally rammed my mother's carriage with his carriage and was like, "You're going to get somebody fucking killed." I was like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "You're walking the wrong way up the aisle." And she was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here." And he's into like his little spandex shit. And I'm like, I wish I was there. I would have fucking pelted him with fucking grapes or something.
Yeah. I would have.
I would have ridiculed him until he left the store in shame.
Use a sack of oranges. That way, he doesn't leave bruises on him.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But like but it just goes to show you, like, but that's how easily manipulated the left is.
It's because they, no matter what degrees they have or what have you, that meaningless piece of paper they got, doesn't matter which it is in. What they care about most is moral superiority and social media clout.
Emotion.
They want
100%
to
emotion.
appear to be this righteous. I'm a person of the people. I put everyone other than myself before myself. When it's completely disingenuous, they wouldn't house a refugee on their own. They don't put their money where their mouth is. They just want to say it so then they can then talk down to you because you
Absolutely.
disagree with them. And that's the bottom line.
Because Stone Cold said so.
Shit, I'm gonna have to get the glass shattering sound effect on the board.
I was gonna bring up a couple of Coors Lights and smash them together and chug them.
Mm.
But all I had was glass bottles.
Yeah,
And
you can't do that.
I don't know if you've seen that video of the kid, the special needs kid in the pool.
I have, of course.
Everybody has. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. I mean, that kid was living his best life, and I'm super happy for him. But like, God
Somebody
damn it,
should have intervened.
His parents were not fucking thrilled.
Well, I mean, anything but glass, buddy. Like
The genuine woo that he let out after that too was just, oh my god, dude, I fucking cry laughing.
it's
every
great
time I see it.
because it's like, okay, he did it,
and
thankfully he's
it's gonna
not
be
like
okay.
seriously hurt.
Yeah,
But
no one got hurt, and everything's gonna be okay. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the ass, to get that glass out of the pool and everything
Mhm.
else and clean everything up. But man, that kid was living his best life for like 5 minutes right there, and that was fucking awesome.
and that will live on forever. And
It really will.
in
It
the
really
long
will.
run, yeah, worth it.
Yeah. But you're right though. Again, Trav, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. The left has just become they're what we call, we know this. They're the bumper sticker party. Like every
Mhm.
single thing that they believe can fit on a bumper sticker because they have no context, they have no ability to elaborate, and they have really no original thoughts in their head. They just parrot whatever the people tell them on whatever the people on TV tell them to parrot, and they go off and they say that. And I mean, go back to COVID, and you're like, when we were growing up and we were learning about the Holocaust and all these other things, and whether you believe it was 271,000 or 6 million people, that's you can have that battle with somebody else. I'm not fucking
Yeah.
I'm not Nick Fuentes. I'm not doing that. But we would always, I remember I always remember like questioning it, not questioning whether it happened or not, but questioning it and being like, how did they just get people to go on the trains like just willy-nilly? Like no guns, no weapons, no method for escape. Like how did they just get all these people on trains, just pack them in and then put them in these camps, and then knowing that they were going to die, just like, did no one think like, hey, there's like 80,000 of us and like 1,000 of them? Yeah, some of us are going to get got, but eventually, like, they're either going to run out of bullets or they're going to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
And then you think, and then you realize that like the Germans were master manipulators in propaganda, and then you just look at COVID and you go, oh, never mind. I totally get it now.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it. They had people convinced that walking the wrong way up a grocery aisle was going to get 200 million people killed.
Yeah, your mom could have been walking in front of or behind that cyclist in the right, quote unquote, right lane with an arrow and the results would have been exactly the same. He would have been fine. It's so arbitrary, and it's insane to look back and think that was only 5 years ago when that started. Basically at this point, because the lockdown started hitting us around like March, April of 2020.
Yeah, it was right at the end of March.
Yeah. And it lasted a good year, year and a half ish.
Yeah.
I forget what I remember the night when we didn't have to wear masks, because at midnight we all took them off and threw them on the ground. We were like, yeah.
I mean, I never really wore mine anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember walking through Stop and Shop on Fons Corner Road one day,
Mm.
and there was this dude, and he was like, he was bigger than me, which is, I only say that because it doesn't happen that often. And he was probably like, I mean, he looked like Bill Goldberg, bald head, goatee, beard. He was probably like 6'6",
Big guy,
you
then,
know,
yeah.
300 pounds, just a big dude. And I come around the corner, and he's with his like wife, who looked like a typical like trophy wife. Like, she looked like a bodybuilder. Like, she looked yoked as fuck, but like blonde hair, blue eyes, fake tits, like the whole nine. And we walk around the corner. Me and my wife walk around the corner. They walk around the corner, and he goes, and he makes like a big. He's like, oh, look, he's not wearing a mask. He's not wearing a mask. Throw him in the gulag. And I just start laughing. He starts laughing. He's like, fuck yeah, and like gives me daps me up, and he's like, yeah, fuck these fucking idiots. I'm like, yeah, fuck these idiots. No like political affiliation. No, he wasn't wearing any Trump shit. Neither was I.
No, it's just common sense.
We just weren't wearing a mask in a Stop and Shop. And then I just see him like blow like 6 red lights on Fons Corner and just like stick his middle finger out the sunroof every time he did it. And I was like, this guy fucks.
There goes a great man.
I was like, yes. There's that Simpsons episode. Like,
You see him open hand slap at that girl, and you're like, he's still great.
still great. Like, it was just
I disagree with that, but god damn it, he's right about a lot of other
like,
things.
he's like leaning on the horn and like throwing his middle finger out the sunroof, which I swear to God, dude, it looked like a fake. His hand was so big, it looked fake. But like, it was just the funniest goddamn fucking thing. And my wife and I still talk about it to this day because that guy was a fucking legend. Like, he just blew the red light like it didn't fucking matter. He was just like, fuck all of you, I'm out of here. Like, full throttle through the fucking. And he had, of course, he had like a 300C. You know,
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
he had the Section 8 Rolls Royce. You know what I mean?
Was he blasting like Motley Crue out his way out?
It had to
Fucking
have been. He was definitely
kickstart my heart.
Yeah, probably that or Whitesnake, you know? His name was probably Todd. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like from Beavis and Butt.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
It's
right.
Todd.
Todd.
Yeah, Todd's cool.
Yeah, Todd's cool. Todd was cool. But like, my wife and I still laugh about it to this day because we're just like, dude, that guy was a fucking legend. But it was so weird because at that point, like, if you weren't wearing a mask and you weren't completely afraid to leave your house, you were looked at like the weirdo. And I was like, ooh, COVID. Like, I had COVID. I had the OG strain. Like, it fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah, I was
You
sick
know.
for a week. I lost my senses of taste and smell for that
Yeah,
week,
my-
and
my-
that
my
that
wife
was
lost
weird
her-
as hell.
My
But
wife lost her sense of taste and smell. I didn't. I got hit with wicked bad fatigue. My wife didn't. You know, like, we had very
Yeah.
varying symptoms, and it was very weird. But it was
I was
like,
still. I mean, I felt
You know,
sick, but
I was
I
in my
was still
30s, I'm good.
functional.
yeah, like, I'm not an 85-year-old who's going to need a ventilator. Like, you know,
Exactly.
I avoided my grandparents and, like, you know, my mother-in-law who has like super bad asthma and allergies. Like,
Oh, of
you know,
course.
don't
And I
want to
got-
get you know, my parents who were getting a little older. You know,
And I got it last year in April.
my dad got it, and he was just like, "That was stupid." He
That was the
like,
second time I got
think
it.
my dad sniffled twice, and he was like, "That was
Yeah.
gay." Anyway, get me more Jameson, you bitches.
Exactly. No, the second time I got it was like last April, so almost a year ago. And I let my job know, and I was like, "Hey, I feel fine enough to work. I know I have COVID. I took the test, and I sent them the information and let them know."
Mhm.
I was just like, I just don't want to give it to anybody else because we do have some older folks that
Yeah, of
work
course,
with
you
us.
do it out of respect.
I
but,
just
like,
didn't want to give it to anybody, let alone the older. And a bunch of them have kids too, so it's like I just don't want to be. And they were like,
But
"Hey,
you know what?
thank
Chad,
you.
You know what would be
Awesome.
awesome? You know what would even be more awesome is that if every time somebody had like a bad cold, they did that and didn't come to work and spread it around the workplace. You know what I mean? Like, could
That's
you
what I
imagine
do
everybody
if
was
I'm-
just like, if you actually were fucking sick, you stayed home. I know
Yeah.
everybody hoards their sick time for the summer when they don't want to be at work and it's
Mhm.
nice out. But like, imagine if everybody used their sick time was like, hey, you know what? Like, I don't really feel that good. I'm kind of fucked up, and I don't want to bring this in because I'm not like bedridden, puking, can't come to work.
But still, I don't want to give
wanna
this
come
to
work
somebody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna annoy everyone's gonna be annoyed for the next 6 to 8 weeks because this is gonna be going around. But no, nobody does that, you know. But God forbid you get COVID. Oh, I don't know. Somebody could die. I mean, no, bro. Like somebody could die from influenza if you have it. Like,
Yeah.
which
The
you know, I mean, just
I mean, COVID is influenza. It's just a different form of it.
it's just a different variant, right? But that's the funny thing. So when I was working a bunch of hospital shifts for my job at the time because we have an elderly population at my institution, and there was a lot of people who were in ICU at the time that were ventilate on vents and everything else. And I was talking to one of the doctors up at Milford Hospital at the time. And he was telling me, he's like, it's funny because, oh, nice call. Damn, he fucking got him. Damn, bases loaded. Venezuela gets kind of a major jam.
Quick shout out to Iron Witch. What's up?
Yes, shout out. But anyhow, we were there, and I'm talking to the doctor, and he's like, it's funny. He's like, there's no such thing as like a 24-hour flu bug or like a 24-hour bug. He's like, that's just a really severe cold. He's like, that's not, he's like, if you get influenza, like if you get the flu, like actual influenza, he's like, there's a damn good chance you're going to be down for a week or more and you're going to be hospitalized. Like, especially if you're elderly. He's like, so all these people who are like, oh, I had a 24-hour stomach bug. They're like, cool, man, you had a cold. Yeah. That's all it is. It's a common cold that was just a really bad variant of it. Like, he's like, to get actually ill is very rare. He goes, the amount of influenza patients we actually see is super, super small. And I was like, huh, son of a bitch. Like,
well,
interesting.
Well, the 24-hour cold, it would probably be more akin to a 24-hour flu than cold, because you don't get, like, vomiting sick on a cold, typically.
Well,
like
you
common
can,
cold.
But but it depends on what variant you get. That's what he was. That's exactly what he was telling me.
I'm not a fucking
So he was like,
scientist,
he's like, you can get super sick off the common cold. It just depends how your body reacts to it.
Yeah.
And he's like, how you defend yourself against it, and whether or not you're susceptible to certain things.
Yeah, that's why
susceptible to any diseases.
That's why you got to get out there.
If you like pineapple on pizza, it'll kill you. Put 9mm bullets on my pizza.
Yeah.
But no, it's just funny because that was the whole thing. But actually getting COVID, was like, you knew when you had COVID if you had it back.
Yes.
In 2020, 2021, it was probably a pretty rough go. At least for me, it was. I mean, I remember getting it Saturday night, waking up Sunday morning, feeling like death, and going from my bed to the couch so that I could watch the Broncos play the Panthers in a meaningless football game. I swear to God, I'd scaled Everest.
Oh,
and I was like,
I felt like shit when I had it.
I'm going to die.
And I knew I had it because I couldn't taste or smell anything.
See, I got lucky. I could taste and smell throughout the whole thing. I never got like nauseous or sick. My wife could not taste or smell. The fatigue wasn't as bad for her as it was for me, but it was still there. But I could still taste and smell. So I was sitting there like, eating my cough drops, and I was like, yeah, I can taste everything. And then I didn't start coughing, and I would be like, I can't stop coughing. I'm going to be coughing for the next 20 minutes.
I did physically feel sick. Like, I had the aches and pains. I felt fatigued, but not enough where I live alone, so I couldn't not, like, I had to go out and get stuff on myself for my own.
Right. We did the Stop and Shop drop-off thing,
which
was pretty cool, because obviously we couldn't go, like, neither one of us could muster the strength to get to the store. And we weren't gonna have like our parents.
Yeah, that's an option. I live so close to one that I live so close to one where it was just like, well, I'm not gonna spend the extra money to have it delivered. That's just.
I mean, I live pretty close to it, but I literally could not, like, for me to get from my house to my car was gonna be enough. For me to like go walk around a supermarket was.
I almost threw up while I was doing self checkout.
Nice.
I managed to check myself out, pay, and then I casually walked to the bathroom, put my bag down, walked in, threw up, came out, and I was good.
See, I didn't get pukey or poopy or anything like that. I just had fatigue and aches and pains.
Yeah, I had it coming out of both ends, and it wasn't not fun.
Yeah, I got
But-
lucky with mine, but it was the OG strain nonetheless. So
But I mean, I had the OG, and then whatever
I
strain was
there.
around last year. But
December
yeah,
2020, bitch. I had COVID. OG shit.
exactly, and no shots, no boosters. I just took over the counter. I took Dayquil, Mucinex, and like vitamin C and zinc supplements.
Yep, I got the Johnson & Johnson shot because my work forced me to.
Well, yeah, you were strong armed in that, so I
was,
I don't blame you.
and I really wish I hadn't because, man, looking back, they never checked.
No.
Never asked you to validate it.
No, why would they? Because it's arbitrary at that point. It's
No, I mean, like, even in the moment, like, I came in, they're like, did you get it? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, go ahead. And I'm like, "Wait, do you want to see my card? They're like, no. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I could have just lied. And they were like, yeah, pretty much. I was like, you fucking
Fuck.
dicks.
well, thanks for all the free mercury, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, can't wait for the fucking heart attack, you fucking dick bags.
God damn it.
Yeah, then I'll try to blame it on my job and the stress, and they'll be like, "Oh, actually, it was the COVID vaccine. You can't sue for that." So, fuck you. I really think that's why they did it because they knew that my workforce dies of heart issues at an alarming rate, and they're like, "Oh, wait, if we force them all to get the vaccine, and then it comes out that the vaccine was actually the reason they had the heart attacks, but then they can't sue the vaccine people because it's already written in there that they can't do that. We get off the hook for free." I honestly think it was this evil, diabolical plan by Charlie Baker in the state of Massachusetts. But anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Potentially. I mean, at least those vaccines are tied to those companies, unlike the cocktail of drugs that are used to administer lethal injection for.
Yeah.
Because guess what? No company wants their name put on the stuff that makes all that cocktail, and it's like a series of drugs.
I
But
mean, I would.
but the problem is with that. I agree with you on that, but the problem
Like,
is,
hey, this man raped and murdered 3 kids under the age of 14. Pfizer, we're doing God's work.
Well, the thing is with it is it's because they don't do that and they're not legally obligated to do so. They don't. They could literally get the drugs from some guy selling it out of his trench coat in a dark alley and just say, "Hey, yeah, this is whatever."
I mean,
because there's no regulation to the ties to who made it or where it came from. It's wild.
wasn't it was it Law Abiding Citizen where he switched out the drugs for the lethal injection to make it like way more like
I haven't. That's the Gerard Butler, Jamie Foxx. I haven't watched that in a while.
Was that movie where like there was supposed to be like a lethal injection and the guy's just supposed to go to sleep, but then he ends up like convulsing and like foaming in the mouth and it's like, oh, like.
Well, I mean, they've done that in a
Like a
couple of
graphic-
movies, but
Have
yes,
they?
they do have that scene where they put him on the table
Yeah.
and then they like elevate the table to he's fully in a Jesus Christ pose. Like-
yeah, and they're like, what the fuck? They're like, what the hell happened? And it's all like this bad press because they're like, Jesus Christ,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to just go to sleep and die. And they're like, yeah. And then he's like, ha ha ha. But I wanted to show you the evil of your ways, like
Pretty much.
hey,
Also,
Leonidas,
yeah,
whatever you
Gerard
say.
Butler had enough time in 10 years to dig a whole, like,
Yeah,
series of tunnels that looks like goddamn Temple of Doom minecart shit.
hey, don't ask questions, okay? He was really fucking smart.
He was just a law-abiding citizen, and then he told that judge, "I bet you get fucked up I bet you take it up the ass."
Yeah,
And
That
it
was
was a
my favorite
woman
part.
judge, so it's not like it's even that big of an insult.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't like he was like telling a guy that,
Mm-hmm.
because that would have made it gay.
Yeah, because the
And everybody knows gay sex is gay.
it's so gay. It's like the gayest
Super
thing you
gay.
could ever do.
Except watch the Oscars, which I didn't.
And you know what? I'll touch on that briefly before we wrap up. The only
Yeah.
thing I really want to say about it is
I did want to just hint at it because I mean I was having fun with the Gerard Butler gay thing,
yes,
but I thought that was a funny way to sneak in a little like.
it's
hey,
a
we
decent
are gonna talk
segue because
about
it's
the
movie
Oscars.
related. Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you did there, and I
I
appreciate
mean, I
it.
try every once in a while, Trav. I get these good little ideas in my head, and I just act on
Mm-hmm.
them. Sometimes it works out. Other times I end up with a dick in my mouth. I don't know.
Yes, but not that I care about any of these award
Hey,
shows
prefer
because
real
it
dick
really
person.
it's whatever industry. In this case, the film industry is just stroking itself.
Oh God, dude. I honestly, I don't remember the last time I watched an award show for anything, but especially when it comes to Hollywood. because
yeah.
the circle jerk that is like, because like when you look at, like, I think I gave up when Saving Private Ryan lost Best Picture in '98.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I'm done. This is stupid. Like, I forget what it was. Was it Everything Is Nothing or something stupid like that? In '98 that beat it.
Oh, in '98,
No, Titanic.
Titanic was
Had
the
to be
big one.
99.
I don't know
Oh,
if that
Shakespeare in Love beat out Saving Private Ryan.
one. Yeah, which who cares about Shakespeare in Love?
Or
Gwyneth
was it
Paltrow and
or was it Hamnet? Which is like Hamlet, but it was spelled funny. Hamnet. I don't know. Anyway, it was one of those gay ass fucking movies.
But-
99 Best Picture nominees.
yeah.
Yeah, so you had Elizabeth, Life is Beautiful, Thin Red Line, Saving Private Ryan, and Shakespeare in Love. And Shakespeare in Love beat out Thin Red Line and Saving Private Ryan.
I've
The Best Picture.
never
I'm like-
watched Shakespeare in Love. I won't.
I probably never will, never have.
I saw Saving Private Ryan with my dad, and there were World War II veterans there, and they were fucking crying. Like,
I saw Saving Private Ryan and Thin Red Line in the theaters. Actually, I went to see Thin Red Line for my birthday because it came out right around my birthday.
mm.
And my mom brought us there. And my mom didn't realize it was like a 3-hour movie. And I don't think anybody else did either. And we were all in like 8th grade at the time. So it's like
Yeah.
me and like 4 or 5 of my buddies, and we're like, all right, when's this movie over, bro? Like, damn. Like, I want to go to the fucking arcade. Like, we almost got up and left early, but it was
Like
such a
Dream
good
Machine's
fucking
right
movie.
there.
Dude, Thin Red Line is one of the most underrated war movies of all time.
Oh, it's a great.
It's unbelievably good. It's very long, but it is very, very. It's the only really. I want to say it's the only exceptional movie made about the Pacific Theater, because for whatever reason,
Mm.
the Pacific Theater like kind of took a back seat to the European theater.
Because the bigger, if for lack of a better term, the sexier war movie is about fighting the Nazis. Because Japan,
Yeah, it's easier.
they came to it. They were the reason we got involved in the war, but that wasn't like the main focus. They were part of the Axis of Evil. They weren't the spearhead of it.
right.
And then, fought for quite
Even
a
though they very much
quite a
were,
while
though,
there.
like-
But once we nuked them, it was like, well, they don't really have anything now. It's we kind of feel bad for them, and now they're better off for it.
Godzilla minus
Yeah.
0.
Dude, look how much great stuff came out from that.
I know. I mean, Godzilla came out of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievably awesome thing. But no, like you're right though. Like Hitler was like such like a more sexy villain than Emperor Hirohito. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nobody knew who that guy was. You know, nobody cared. They're like, wait.
Same with
Japan has a-
Mussolini. It's like,
They're
oh,
like Japan's got an emperor. They're like, what is this? The fucking 16th century? Like what the fuck? Like, why don't y'all get a fucking president or a prime minister like the rest of us?
well, we kind of fixed that for him.
We still use emperors who are from samurai blood.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Konnichiwa.
But
Did you
yes,
know that
in terms of-
Japan and China are two different things?
Ooh. In terms of the Oscars, I'll keep this brief since we're
Yeah,
running.
because I don't know anything about the Oscars other than Michael B. Jordan won, and he
And
went to
rightfully
In-N-Out
so.
Burger.
In my opinion, Sinners should have won Best Picture. I'm glad Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor. I hadn't watched that movie until like last month with my beautiful girlfriend, and we both and I already knew basically it had already been spoiled for me for the
Yep.
most part, but with the exception of the very ending and everything. But I knew the gist of it going into it, and I was still blown away by it. It was so well
Nice.
done. The music is fantastic in it. Everything is great. What I disagree with is one battle after another took home pretty much, Best Picture. Sean Penn won Best Supporting Actor.
He's such a douche.
And I watched that
Also
movie.
in the Thin Red Line.
Yes. No, he can be great and stuff. Dude, Mystic River is an
Oh,
all-timer.
Sean, he's a fantastic actor, but just total douchebag. In real life.
Yes, in real life.
Yeah.
That being said, that can be said about two other actors, Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal.
And Robert De Niro.
Well, I mean, those
George
two
Clooney.
specifically
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because they were
for
in the
what they
movie.
did in Eddington, which got
Yeah.
completely snubbed for Oscars. And it was also like a politically driven movie.
Mhm.
But that movie was very well done, very well acted, and it didn't take a side. It kind of pointed out how both sides can be fucking ridiculous. And by the end, it's a completely overblown crescendo of madness, but it works.
Okay.
With every battle, one battle after another, rather, it's Paul Thomas Anderson, who generally I like. He directed Boogie Nights. He directed
Great movie.
There Will Be Blood.
Great movie.
He's done a number of other great movies. This was such a self-fillating, it was autofellatio of Hollywood because it focuses on DiCaprio and his family, and they're basically Antifa. And
Okay.
Sean Penn is the military guy who's a rapist and he's a piece of shit, and you're not supposed to like him. And guess what? You don't, because he's
Naturally.
not good.
Nobody likes rapists.
And then, but it
not even felons like rapists.
Yeah, but it completely glorifies what Antifa is doing to the point where it is comical, but not intentionally comical. Kelsey and I were laughing at this movie during parts where there is intentional humor here and there. It's few
Yeah.
and far between. We weren't laughing at those parts. We were laughing at everything else about it because you're like, wait, they did what? Wait, and this is happening? Like, I had to stop it halfway through and be like, wait, this is being considered for Best Picture? Like, who the fuck is saying this movie is good? It is not good. Paul asked me, he was like, hey, me and Hill are thinking about watching this one battle after another. I was like, dude, don't even bother. Kelsey and I just watched it like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's
and
terrible.
you get the
Watch
lowdown on
Eddington
it.
instead. And Eddington was very divisive, and I can understand why. One battle
Oh, come on,
after
Trav.
another.
If you're gonna be an elitist, you're gonna say it right. You're gonna say it's divisive.
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 I'm not British. I don't say aluminium. There's not an extra I in there. You fucking cuck.
Wait, your garage door isn't made of aluminium.
No,
What the hell's wrong with you, cunt?
no, I'm Australian. Nah.
Oh
Nye.
yeah, that is Australian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoops. Whatever. Fuck 'em. Same shit.
But that being said,
The only island nation I respect is New Zealand, and that's only because I got 3 friends from New Zealand that I met in Daytona 2 years ago, and they were awesome.
good on them. I'm sure they're fine people.
They
But
are
again,
fine, very fine people.
I don't
And
care
not
about
like the Trump very fine people.
Yeah, no, actually very fine.
They actually like Trump too, which is funny. Because we were there. I met them the year that Trump was at the 500, like not this past year, but the year before.
Mm.
And they were like, "Yeah, like I'm taking this video to send my sister. She fucking hates Trump." She's
Oh,
a
take
cunt."
that, you cunt.
Yeah, and they're just like everything. Yeah, you cunt. Which is
Like, I love that you guys just use that as
dude, it's so awesome how fucking just freely they throw that word around. I love it. Like, I love iRacing with Australians and New Zealanders because they just say like, you cheeky cunt. You know,
or they ram you like, oi, cunt.
put your fucking hands on me, cunt. You know.
You're like, you guys get it.
Yeah, they do. They
At
do.
least to an extent. But
Right. Not Australians. New Zealanders, yes. Kiwis, yes. Australian, little sus.
I'm sure there's based Australians, but they're few
Oh,
and far
definitely.
between.
Yeah, they're further and fewer between. At
It's
least
more
none of-
impressive with New Zealand, though, because it is such a smaller country.
outfit. Yeah, in general.
I mean, Australia is giant. It's just most of it is uninhabitable.
Right.
New Zealand is at least, like, yeah, everybody, you can
You're like,
occupy
wait, you're
pretty
like,
much
wait,
every
why
part
is,
of
why
it.
is most of Australia uninhabitable? They're like, well, because we have spiders the size of fucking dogs. And you're like, oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, and the further you go inland, the more crazy the wildlife is, and it's also insanely hot there. so-
Yeah. And everything is trying to kill you, from the things that are alive to the things that aren't. So.
Yeah, so you have to stay on the coast to stay cool, at least at a comfortable temperature. And then also, there's a shit ton of things in the ocean that can kill you. So it's like,
I mean, everything in the ocean can kill you, from fucking things you can't see, like the box jellyfish, to
Yep.
great whites.
I mean, I'll let you in on a little secret here, Joey. Maybe you and some of our listeners / viewers don't know about it. Water can kill you.
Water. I think isn't water the number one way people die in this country every year?
And it's what we're mostly made up of on a
I know.
physiological
Wild.
standpoint.
It's very wild.
Or
Oh,
basis,
good.
I should say.
So I just joined a race because I know we're wrapping up here, so I got a race coming up here in a minute.
Yeah,
And I love when I see one of my like A+ ops in the lobby.
Mm.
It makes me very happy.
there you go. But yeah, we can wrap it up. But again, I don't care about award ceremonies. It's just the industry
Oh, I still got like
stroking
5 to 8
itself.
minutes. I'm good.
But I think it's still the fact that this giant woke piece of garbage, like blatantly slapping the audience across the face with its agenda, won Best Picture, Director, and Supporting Actor, while Eddington was equally divisive and took a more neutral stance of saying, hey, both sides are can be fucking nuts. But it's
right.
but it's an actually enjoyable movie and story.
Eddington was the Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
All right, I'll have to check that one out then.
Yeah, I don't like either of them as people, but as actors they're great.
Oh well, listen. At this point in where we are, society wise, like societal, whatever. You know what I'm saying? At this point, if you can't separate the art from the artist, you're gonna have a really bad time.
Exactly.
I mean, the bottom line is that your favorite artist probably wish you didn't exist, and you probably wish your favorite artist didn't exist.
Yeah.
When it comes to a lot of things, but tomorrow's St. Paddy's Day, which me as a basically fucking pure-blooded Irishman, it's a great day. It's me and my brother will be saying we'll be pounding Guinnesses, being like, "Yo, it's Paint Satrix Day, motherfucker." And don't ask me why it's Paint Satrix Day, but that's my younger brother doing what my younger brother does best, which is making things ridiculous for no reason.
It's just switching the two first letters.
Oh,
but yes,
dude. Every time I'll be like, "Yo, you coming by Mom and Dad's? Mom made steamed beef," and I'm like, "What? Beef stew?" And I'm like, "Oh, god damn it, Keith! Like, fuck off!" Like, he'll be like, "Yo, you want to come over and make some bees jergers?" And I'm like,
that is. To be fair, that is Keith for you.
It's everything he does. It's just like he just takes the dumbest shit that nobody else thinks of because it's so retarded, and then makes it his whole personality. And it's kind of what makes him funny as fuck. But it's why we love him. So anyway, but tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, and honestly, I kind of removed the Dropkick Murphys from my playlist. I think sometime around 2008.
It's cliche.
Yeah,
and also they are woke idiots too.
Yeah, and now they've become like so over the top, like woke about shit. Like, and by woke I mean just liberal. I'm gonna stop using the term woke because I feel like that's just kind of, that term has lost all of its luster too. Yeah, and it doesn't really properly, because I feel like now the right is the woke side because we see the left for what it is. Right? Isn't that the whole thing? Like, you're awake, you see things for what they are.
Well, that's how they intended it, but the thing is, they've always been asleep and maybe sleepwalking at best.
Exactly, but I feel like that started that was more like that was always like an African American term, I feel like that for me.
I think it has its roots in
really like Black Power, like Black supremacy shit, like Black Panthers kind of stuff, like.
And actually, in that context, it makes sense because they're like, you're
being controlled by the white man.
My brothers and sisters, you got to be awake and woke to these these injustices. Within that context, it makes sense.
I think
now, in the broad sense, it doesn't make sense.
Hey, look, there's another thing that white people just co-opted off black people and took as our own and ran with it and completely fucked it up. But
just like Elvis stealing.
I mean,
wait, he's what?
He's what?
What?
What do you mean this Eminem is what?
Yeah.
He sounds black as shit to me.
But he sound with Dr. Dre.
He ain't saying oogie boogie words, but he sounds black.
No, I swear to God, he's from Michigan.
I'm telling you right now. And wait till you get a load of this Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, well, you're probably gonna. You're probably
But he
gonna
wears-
like him, hate him.
He wears makeup and dresses. He's
Mhm.
kind of a fruitcake. But anyhow, but no, it just fuck, I forget what I was saying. But anyway, oh yeah, if you can't separate the art from the artist at this point, like you're just gonna have a bad time. Like the Dropkick Murphys, they're dead to me for the most part. They have been for a long time anyway. But now they're just so over the top, like they rage for the machine, kind of like Rage Against the Machine, where they're like,
Yeah.
put your mask on and get a vaccine because the government says so. And we're like, isn't that what we're not supposed to do? And they're like, no, it's different now. And we're like,
Yeah, and also
How
we
much are you getting paid to
reunited,
say
and
that?
our tickets cost like $1,600.
Right, exactly. All right, I got about 90 seconds to jump in this race, so
All right, sounds
I'm not even going to be able to make a drink before I do this, which is
well. Maybe you can
fascinating.
take a piss in your non-existent piss jar.
I know. Luckily, I already pissed, so we're good there. But
All right.
anyway, good show, Trav.
Absolutely, like always.
Looking
Joey.
forward to the next Monday for sure. Can't wait to see what the world brings us in the next 6 days.
That's a big 10-4 there, good buddy. And yeah, we'll talk about it as it comes. So as things develop, we will bring it up if it's worth
Absolutely.
mentioning.
Outstanding, sir. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody that watched.
Yes, thank you guys.
Appreciate y'all. And we'll see you next week.
Goddamn right.
Goddamn
Take care,
right.
everybody.
All right, guy. I'll
And
talk
give
to you
me a
later.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Because Stone Cold said so.
Exactly.
I don't know why Stone Cold sounds like Sam Elliott, but that's for next week.
And
next
that's the
week's
bottom line, because the adult table said so.
And that's the bottom line because Sam Elliott said so.
Coors.
Get yourself a Coors Light.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely, bud. Later.
Thanks, everybody.